what device do you have? So this is a Nintendo Switch V1. What's wrong with the device? SD card slot is not working. Has anyone attempted to fix a device before? Not sure. Looks like someone's been in it before as missing screws and kickstand. So this is something that we really have to bear in mind here. Hi Joey, I hope you're well. I've run into an issue with the Nintendo Switch V1 I'm hoping you might be able to help with. I work as a support worker and one of my clients recently bought a Switch on Vinted. He used to have one a few years ago and really wanted one again. But with the new models being out of his price range, he opted for a tablet-only version. I offered to help by supplying Joy-Cons and any extra bits to get him up and running, which is a very, very kind gesture and a nice thing to do. Unfortunately, we've discovered that the memory card slot doesn't work, and it looks like it's missing a number of screws, possibly from a previous repair attempt. He doesn't have a lot of money, and I'd really love to help him get this working again if possible. We both watch your videos. He especially loves the PS5 ones when things go wrong, and thought you might be the right person to ask. Thanks in advance for any help or advice you can give. Well, I'm really, really, really looking forward to hopefully being able to get this one to work. It's going to be interesting to take a look and see what's going on, and I really hope that I'm able to fix it. I can confirm exactly what they said on the tin. We are missing the kickstand here. Do we have a game? We don't have a game. I'm just double checking and making sure for these things. No, we don't have an SD card in here either. I know you said it doesn't work. Ooh, it definitely has been opened before. Can you see we've got the middle screw here missing? So it's definitely been opened. The fact that there's not even been a screw put back here is bad enough. And it's the same on the other side as well. So they said that they bought this one from Vinted. So I'm really interested to see what the history and story is with this device. Let's, first of all, I guess, just make sure that it actually turns on, because I need to make sure it's out of battery. Okay, I'm just going to put it in charge very quickly, just to make sure that it does turn on and that everything else is okay. 648 milliamps is so strange. If it was dead Natrix, what you would see is it would be at like 100 milliamps. It's clearly, it needs a charge because it's got the battery symbol. It's just I've not necessarily seen this before. What current do I expect? When it's off like this, around about 500 milliamps, because it's not fast charging because the device isn't on. And what's super strange right now is it is 650. I don't think I've ever seen a Nintendo Switch at 650 that's not on. I've seen them when they're on at 650 and when it's asleep in this sort of mode. But what's strange is that the device... Right. Did anyone else see that turn on? Because I definitely did not see that device turn on. We're going to check the basics. I need to make sure that I test everything before I start working on the device. Because if I was actually doing this as a service that was costing, that's exactly what I'd be doing. I'd be starting very bare basics. When I do profit or loss, it's a little bit different. I own that device. That device is mine. When it's other people's machines, we need to take extra care. And I need to make sure I do all of the steps in order. So I'm just going to test and make sure that it's not like a bad SD card that they've got, because that is highly likely as well. Let me just unplug it, make sure we're still on. It's console battery low. Digitizer's all good. There we go. It's actually even on the screen. Let's put this in. No, they're 100% correct. Take it out, put it back in. Nothing. Exactly the same. All right. So we've tested an SD card. It's not just them, and it's not their SD card. They're not doing anything wrong. We can validate that. It could just be the actual reader itself being a little bit dirty, maybe something in the port or anything like that. So I'll check that as well. But, I mean, somebody else has... I'm going to turn this off. I've got a bunch of screws for Nintendo Switches, so I'll be replacing all of the screws in this console. We can do that, no problem at all. Now, as far as screws go, which ones are we... Ooh, that does have a little bit of a kink in it, hey? Tiny, tiny bit, maybe, perhaps. We've got 2 screws missing at the bottom. We've got the 2 on the side that we've already talked about. And we've got the one missing at the top as well. Do we have any of the tries missing? No, all of the tries seem to be there. So we'll start with those, removing those. The SD card reader itself doesn't feel great. I don't even think that's being plugged. Oh, no, where it is. Is it? Oh, okay. I think we found our issue, chat. Over to the microscope. I think we found our issue. Ready? Right there. Look how many pins are missing from that SD card connector. Let me tell you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We have 8 missing pins from this connector specifically. So all we're going to have to do, should be a nice fix, is replace this connector. All right. So we do have a bit of a soldering job on our hands. Now, how's that happened? I have no idea. Actually, coming back to this, are the pins in here? Yeah, they are. I think they're stuck on the connector. Can you see that? Can you see they're being pulled off the board? Connector has seen some things. I agree. Yeah, I agree. Right. Do we have any other missing screws with this device? Or is that it? We obviously need to replace the SD card reader itself as well. So we'll do that. That's a third-party battery, I believe. Oh, wait a minute. No, it says Nintendo. But this is round the wrong way. Just that the wires have been turned around and something. It should go like that, right? and then down. It's like it's something that shouldn't even really be a thing, but yeah, it doesn't even look like the thermal paste has been replaced on this. So no idea what they were actually doing in here. Maybe, is that a replacement battery? Lovely jubbly. Where's the thermal paste? Now, luckily, the Nintendo Switches don't actually require that much thermal paste, but that is pretty much non-existent. We basically need to get down to the bare basics of this board to get the motherboard out, and then we can perform the fix on the SD card reader. The way we're going to tackle this, guys, is simply by going around about 420 degrees Celsius on the old Aten ST862D. So we're going to go about 420 degrees Celsius. We're going to heat from the bottom. Airflow speed, I'm going to go about 90%. So it's going to be pretty high up there. And I'm going to tackle this from underneath. And I'm just going to circulate that heat, okay? I'm circulating that heat from underneath the board. I'm just kind of warming the board up a little bit as well from the back side. And the reason I'm doing this is to make our jobs just that little bit easier, because the more heat we have in the board itself, the easier it's going to be to get this connector off. I'm going to start focusing the heat a little bit more while still circulating the heat from underneath in the same rough area. Now I'm just going to give this a little tap as well, make sure that it's not ready to come off yet, which is not. So again, I'll still go for the circular motion underneath. I'm just waiting to see that solidify. Sorry, not solidify, liquefy. Going to come in, tweezers. I think it's going to be very, very soon. Just look to grab this off the board any second. Keep moving that heat around. There it goes. That's now come off. That's the old connector. So I'm going to come in with some flux now. Not too much, but just enough. And then what I'm going to do is come in with a soldering iron and a bit of leaded solder. I'm just going to simply go over these pads. Like that. Perfect. Now I'm going to come through with a cotton swab. Get rid of most of that flux, majority of it. Put another little bit down just there. And tap this to make sure that we don't have absolute loads under it. That should be enough. Now I need to take a connector off a donor. So I'm going to do exactly the same. But I'm not going to show you this process over here because I don't need to, because you've just seen me take the connector off. All right, that one comes off. I'm just going to place this roughly here. And let's just put this in rough position, which is going to be about there. And then we're going to go from the bottom again. If I was heating from the top, I'd probably say the same. I'd probably say that it's not best practice to do it with that close to the eMMC if you're heating from the top, because you've got the BGA chip, which is higher than the actual rest of the board. So you risk the chance of doing that, but I would never do this job from the top. So we're coming in again underneath. Now this is leaded as well, so this is going to melt quicker. Well, it's leaded mixed with unleaded. It's going to melt a lot quicker than just unleaded on its own. And you can see it's going now. We just go a bit back and forth with this. Make sure that that's going to be connected. Keep going. Keep going. You can see it just starting to form now. I just need to make sure that all of those are going to be sat properly. I might give it a little tiny weeny nudge. Just like that. Right, I think we're going to be okay. So I've come off the heat now. I'm actually going to inspect this in a second and just make sure we're all good. I let it cool down. I'm going to check it and make sure that all of those pins are actually soldered and that we're okay. The solder joints look okay to me. Look on the other side as well. They look fine as well to me. That's all connected. And all of those pins are in place. Can you see that? All of those pins look to be in place. Could it go a little bit more left? Probably. Is that going to massively matter? Not necessarily. I think we're going to be okay. We can see as well that the ground holes, the ground legs have also been soldered down solidly as well. That's a nice strong new connector. Let's put it back in the chassis and see if it works. How small is that connector? So probably what, 1/5 of my fingernail is the size of that connector. One third maybe, 1/4, something like that. I'm really hoping it's all going to be okay. The aspect of this that I need to test is the SD card slot, and I want to make sure it's screwed down properly because I don't want to be messing around with that flapping about, if that makes sense. Let's see what the situation is, hey? Is the SD card slot going to work? Yes or no? Moment of truth. Let me just plug that in. Make sure it charges. Should just get a notification as soon as I go to plug it in. So we're on the home screen. Go plug it in. It's working. Let's go! Things you love to see. Micro SD card was being used by another Switch, so yeah, just basically saying delete that data and reset it. Obviously, I'm not doing that. But that's good. Really, really good. And it goes in and out very, very smoothly. So that is all fixed. Get this back to the person as quick as we possibly can. Things you love to see. Being able to help out people that have supported me and watched my channel in potentially situations where they're not going to be financially able or able in other ways to get a repair done. For that person to reach out to me and have the confidence in the fact that I will be able to fix it is an immense feeling on its own. So I actually feel, it's a pleasure to do so.